welcome to Kids Church and Happy Easter! Who has eaten an Easter egg yet? I'm going to need you to shout super loud because you're in your house and I'm in my house, and so you're going to have to shout all the way across Vancouver. So if you've had an Easter egg yet, shout really loud now. Guys, you're going to have to do better than that. Okay, if you've had an Easter egg yet, I need you to shout now. Oh my goodness, that was so many of you. I hope they were super yummy. Who else enjoyed Olaf running around the backyard trying to find those Easter eggs? I was laughing so hard, and I bet he really enjoyed eating all those Easter eggs as well. Well, this morning is a super exciting day because it's Easter, and that means that we get to celebrate the greatest gift of all time, which is that God sent his son Jesus to die for us. And you might think that it's a bit weird that we celebrate someone dying for us, but actually we're also celebrating the fact that he didn't stay dead, he rose from the dead, and now he's alive. So why don't we start by worshipping Jesus together, and then we'll come back and learn a little bit more of the story.
Called Savior, have you heard of his perfect love? Have you heard of the one in heaven? Have you heard how he gave his son? 'Cause I have found this love, I believe in the Son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. I believe in the one called Savior, I believe he's the risen one, I believe that I'll live forever, I believe that my King will come, 'cause I have found this love, I believe in the Son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Nothing will ever change that. Nothing will ever
So now we're going to go over our memory verse from last week and learn a new one from this week. So if you can remember the verse, say it with me now. Ready? Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us. Romans 12:3. If you got that, well done. I'm super impressed. So this week's one, I'll say it and it will come up on the screen, and then you can try and learn it for next week. So this is how it goes. But God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. Romans 5:8. Okay, so if you can remember that for next week, that would be super great. Remember, there'll be the memory verse challenge that will come out on a Monday on Instagram and Facebook, so your parents can follow us there, and it will remind you what the verse is, and then you can learn it during the week. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head to a very special guest, and we're going to do a little Easter quiz. So without further ado, let's head over to our special guest called the Professor, and he will explain what's next.
Hello everyone, my name is the Professor, because I am a professor. Nice to meet you. I am going to teach you some things, but before I do, I want to introduce you to an assistant of mine. Her name is Assistant. Good to have you, Assistant. Myself, the Professor, and my assistant, we are very smart. We are very wise, and we are going to show you a few things. But before we do, I need to tell you something. I used to be in the army. And so I need you to salute your professor. But in order to do that, you must stand up. Everybody up. Everybody up, 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 up. Let's go. Yes, I know it's early. Come on, up, up. Stand in front of your laptop, in front of your TV. Good. Now, you're still sitting? Stand. I know you're still sitting. Please, up. Thank you. Okay, here we go. This is how you do it. Everybody, hands to your sides. And salute your professor. Hold it. Hold it. Do not move. At ease. Very well. Now, let's try that again. Assistants, good job. Ready? Here we go. Salute your professor. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Oh, 1 second. Hold it. Oh, it's my mom. Hi, Mom. I love you too. I know it's crazy. We're stuck at home. I love you so much. Okay, bye. Okay. Sorry about that. Hold it. At ease. Very well. Now, we have a few questions to ask you. This is where all the learning comes in. Assistant, please hand me my first question. Thank you very much. The question is this. Which part of the chocolate bunny do you eat first? As you can see, we have a chocolate bunny. Now, I want you to think of the answer. Do you eat the feet first? Do you eat the ears first? Or do you eat the tail first? Which do you eat? The feet, the ears, or the tail? Think of your answer. Tell your neighbor. Tell someone, because we do not want you to cheat. The feet, the ears, or the tail? Drum roll, please. Keep going, please. Keep going, please. Thank you. The answer is the ears. That is correct. Okay, that's a waste of a chocolate bunny, but that is okay. Question number 2. Assistant. Thank you. The world's heaviest Easter egg weighed as much as what? Can you pass me one of those Easter eggs, please, Assistant? Thank you very much. Now this one is very small, of course, but the world's largest Easter egg weighed as much as a school bus. That's pretty big. A motorcycle, also pretty big. Or a regular sized car. Which do you think? A school bus, a motorcycle, or a regular sized car? Can I hold those for you while you give us a drum roll? Thank you. Drum roll, please. Think of your answer. Got your answer? You told your neighbor? If you didn't, tell your neighbor right now, because we're going to do another drum roll. answer is school bus. Oh my goodness, that is massive. Now, there you go. Have you ever wondered what it looks like to eat 250 Easter eggs all at once? Well, this is what it looks like. Go ahead, assistant. I love Easter eggs. Okay, question number 3. Thank you, assistant, for being such a good sport. Here we go. Ready? Now we're getting into the Bible. God sent Jesus to take the punishment for what? All the wrong that we do, or some of the wrong that we do? Do you think God sent Jesus to take the punishment for all the wrong that we do, or some of the wrong that we do? Tell your neighbor. Think of your answer. Tell your neighbor. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. No, just kidding, just kidding. The answer is all the wrong that you do. And we're going to be learning a bit more about that in a few minutes. Question number 4. Thank you. Oh, excuse me for a second. Oh, keep your distance, please, assistant. Thank you. Here we go. God made the world and loves each person even though we hiccup. Hands up if you like hiccups. Nobody likes hiccups. Even though we sweat. I'm sweating right now, that's for sure. Or even though we sin. What do you think the answer is? Hiccup? Sweat? Or sin? Think of the answer. Tell your neighbor. Drum roll, please. Stop. Drum roll, please. Stop. Drum roll, please. Stop. The answer is sin. Yes, Jesus loves you even though you sin. Now, final question coming up. Hopefully you guys are doing pretty good on this quiz. Thank you very much. What is the best news that you could ever get? Is it your parents saying, we're going to Disneyland? Which is pretty fun. Is it Jesus is alive? Which is what we're celebrating at Easter, by the way. Or is it you have no homework for the rest of the school year? What do you think? Disneyland, Jesus alive, or no homework for the rest of the year? All are good news, but which is the best news? Think about it. Tell your neighbor. Drum roll, please. Keep going, please. Silence. The answer is Jesus is alive. Yes. Hopefully you learned a little bit. You're going to learn a little bit more in the next few minutes. Thank you for enjoying your time with the professor and the assistant. I want you to stand up one last time. Arms by your side. Salute your professor. Hold it. Hold it. At ease. See you next time.
That professor, wow, he was a little bit interesting. And did anyone else think that he reminded you of someone that we've seen somewhere before? I can't figure out who it was. So if you did our quiz just now, what we want you to do is write a comment in the comment section below saying that you completed it and that you did it with your family, and then you're going to be entered into our Broadway Bucks draw. So what will happen is that we'll pick people's names out of the hat, and then you get emailed a little Broadway Buck coupon, and you will then have the chance, when we get back and we can all meet together, you'll get the chance to exchange the coupon for prizes. So make sure to write your comment there and we'll put you in the draw, and maybe you'll get to win a prize when we get back to Kids Church. So today in our story, it's going to start off with a reminder of a story that we read, that we learned about a couple of weeks ago, called The Last Supper. And in that story we learn about how Jesus washed his disciples' feet. And it showed us how we can love and care for people when Jesus went back to heaven. And so that's what the story is going to start with, but then afterwards we're going to learn about what happened next. So how about we watch it together right now?
Have you ever thought about how difficult it can be to get ready for something? Like getting ready for school in the morning. You have to wake up super early, rush to eat breakfast, brush your teeth. Oh, and don't forget your backpack. There's always so much to do, with so many people expecting you to do it all just right. It's hard to believe, but Jesus knows exactly how we feel in times like these. There were a lot of things God sent to Jesus to do as a part of his perfect plan to show his love for us. The week leading up to Jesus' death, there were a lot of things that needed to be done to prepare his friends and followers for what was about to happen. The first thing Jesus had to do was make his way to Jerusalem. He came to the city and asked his followers to go get a donkey. Jesus rode the donkey into the city, and when the people saw him coming, they recognized that Jesus was a king. They waved palm branches and laid their coats on the ground to make a path for him. The people believed that Jesus had come to save them. So they shouted, "Hosanna!" which means, "Save us!" One night that week, Jesus sat down with his disciples to have a special meal to remember God's love for each one of them. He knew it would be the last supper they would share before he went back to heaven. Jesus thanked God for the bread, he broke it and gave it to his disciples. Then Jesus thanked God for the cup. Everyone ate and drank with Jesus. The disciples took their time because they enjoyed being with Jesus. Later, Jesus got up from the table, wrapped a towel around his waist, and filled a bowl with water. He bent down and did something the disciples did not expect. He began to wash their dirty feet, drying them with a towel that was wrapped around him. When it was Peter's turn, he felt like it was wrong and said, "Lord, you will never wash my feet." Jesus explained to Peter that by washing his feet, he was showing that he loved him and that he was a part of his people. When Peter heard that great news, he said, "Lord, after you wash my feet, wash my hands and my head too." When Jesus finished washing his disciples' feet, he went back to sit at the table with them. He asked, "Do you understand what I have done for you?" They listened as he explained that he washed their feet as an example of the love he wanted them to show others. We may not have to wash the feet of everyone we know, but we can show love in the way we do what our mom or dad asks, or the way we listen to our teacher at school. One of the best ways we show love is in the way we treat our friends. Knowing that Jesus came to show his love makes us happy to show his love to others.
When Jesus lived on earth, he showed love to everyone he met. But the way he showed love often made people who were jealous of him very angry. In fact, over time, they got so angry that they made stuff up about him to get him arrested. God knew that people like you and me would choose to do wrong things. Those wrong things are called sin. You see, God made the world and loves each person, even though we sin. God sent Jesus to take the punishment for all the wrong things we do. That's the real reason Jesus was arrested and punished with death on the cross, even though he had never done anything wrong. As Jesus was dying, there were two men on either side of him. One man made fun of Jesus, saying, "Hey, if you are really the one who came to save, why can't you save yourself?" The guy on the other side of Jesus got angry and replied, "You and I have done really bad things that deserve punishment, but Jesus has done nothing wrong." When Jesus heard those words, he looked at the man who clearly loved him and said, "Today, you will be with me in heaven." Shortly after that, Jesus died. 3 days later, there was an earthquake at the tomb where Jesus had been buried. An angel rolled the stone away to show that Jesus' body was no longer there. Because of his love for us, God raised Jesus back to life. Knowing Jesus is alive is the best news we could ever have. It proves that he has the power to defeat both sin and death, and that we can trust him. When we commit to following Jesus, his power over our sin makes it possible for us to have a new life and live with him in heaven one day. And that's why we celebrate Easter.
Hi everyone, happy Easter. I hope you enjoyed the story and are enjoying Kids Church so far. I was about to get started when I realized I lost my kid's church binder again. I looked everywhere for it and I really thought I left it on my desk, but I don't know where it is.
Or I found it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we found it. Perfect. Let's see what we have today. Oh, yes. So, I have these Easter eggs here, but they're not full of chocolate. I actually have little things in them that help us tell the Easter story. So, in our first egg, we have a crown of thorns. Jesus had done nothing wrong, but they arrested him anyway. And they were not very nice to him. They whipped him and they made fun of him, and then they placed a crown of thorns on his head. Next, he carried his cross, and it was really heavy, and he was already hurt really badly. And they carried his cross all the way up to the hill, where they used nails a lot bigger than this, and they nailed him to the cross. Next, while he was on the cross, people played games and gambled for his clothes. A darkness came over the land for 3 hours. And after that, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And there, Jesus died on the cross. As soon as Jesus had taken his last breath and died, the curtain at the temple ripped. There was an earthquake, and people that had been dead rose and came back to life. All of a sudden, they realized Jesus was the Son of God. Joseph, a disciple of Jesus, asked for his body. He took it and he wrapped it in linen like this and placed Jesus' body in a tomb, kind of like a cave, and put a rock in front of the entrance. On the third day, Mary and Mary went to go to the tomb. An earthquake happened, and all of a sudden, the stone was rolled away. An angel appeared and said to them, "He's not here. The tomb is empty." Mary and Mary was so excited and full of joy. They went to run and tell the others, and they came upon Jesus. He was alive, just like he had said he was. Jesus was betrayed, arrested, tried, and crucified. And yet the darkest moment of the story became the brightest when he rose from the dead. I want to show you guys something. I have these 3 cups here. This one represents Jesus, this represents you and me, and this represents sin. So I'm gonna pour the sin in here. We all have sin in our life. But when Jesus died on the cross, he did something for us. He took away our sin and he saved it from us. And he offered us forgiveness. God loves us so much and so that he sent Jesus to sacrifice for us. So today, my friends, I want you to remember and celebrate that Jesus is alive, and he did it for me and he did it for you, and he loves you so much. We hope you have a great week this week. Happy Easter. Bye.